when you finished playing football,
Yeah.
Did you go straight into mediumship? Because you had a small, if my research is right, you had a small shop in Wavertree.
Yes,
you worked
which
on.
we converted the shop into a front and back, a waiting room, and me doing the readings in the back room.
So was that immediately after finishing football?
No, it wasn't. I actually, when I came back, I joined. How can I say it? There's a company called Littlewoods. It's well known, and the heads of Littlewoods were the Moores family, John Moores and his older brother, and they were owners at one time of Liverpool and Everton Football Club. And a lot of the footballers who finished the game went and they gave them jobs. And when I first come back, I let certain people know, and next minute I got an interview at Littlewoods, and they onto what they call the security. Now, this job on security was supposed to be the plumbest security job out of all security jobs that there ever was, with very good pay, great conditions, and just a wonderful job. But they got me in. I'd never had experience in security, and I've got to admit it was a very pleasurable job. They did pay me well. I'd done something I'd never done before in my life, overtime. I got used to overtimes and doing Sundays and double shifts, 12 hours. But the earnings were good. It was when I decided then that I was getting these insights again, and get the insights. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do what Gran always said I would come into this work one day. You know what I did? Where the courage come from is heaven sent. Because I, without really thinking it out, put together an advert, offering my services, to come out to people's homes to do readings. And I only placed one ad in the Liverpool Echo, and I got a number of replies from it. And I think it booked me for something like, in the first week, 5 homes to go to, and another 3 or 4. But there were groups of ladies, averaging from 6 to 10 people. And that's how I started. The rest is history, because word of mouth, after that one ad, I kept on getting to go here, there, everywhere, different areas, not just locally, in Runcorn one night, but all over. And then I decided, this is too much, because my energy working day and night. I said to my wife, I need to get a place where I can conduct readings, and it was Wavertree. And I worked there very successfully for a number of years. Then I moved on to a better place in Liverpool, in the High Street, and I worked there for a lot of years, very happy, until radio, and then after radio, television were making contact. And that's how it all really started.
Because the first time I came across you in the entertainment world was lying in bed late at night listening to, I think it was James Whale.
Yes,
and
did that for 8 years.
You did readings on the radio on a regular basis.
Yeah, I did.
So how does that work as a medium doing the readings on the radio? Because obviously the person isn't there with you.
Voice vibration.
Right.
Years before, I realised I started conducting telephone readings, first to locally, because I found I could do it on radio, because I got invited. Around the corner from my office in Liverpool was Radio Merseyside, where Billy and Wally, who were icons in presenting then, invited me onto their 1 hour, 1 hour out of their 3 hour show, and it was about the paranormal, and it was in the afternoon. So I'd come away from my office, just walk around the corner into Radio Merseyside and go and do it. And that's where I started talking to people and listening to them and seemingly getting it right. Then I started conducting, it was Billy. Billy said, you want to do telephone reads, you can do this. So I did that. So of course then, much later on, James Whale, where it was like for 3 hours in the night, something like from 10 o'clock till 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the years with James. He was always great with me. I travelled from where I lived all the way down to London. A lot of the times Gwen came with me. We'd go and do it, and we'd be in a little hotel to sleep, because we'd get out there very late. And Scratchwood, I think, used to get to, we set off from there. And as I say, with James, he was fantastic. The production team were great there. And it was once a week. It was generally a Sunday night. And I'd travel down in the afternoon. So yeah, so I've done telephone readings, live readings, Granada Breeze for 5 years with Becky live on the settee. People could see me, all I could hear was their voice, and I'd do readings. So over the years I've done a lot of those, all because I was able to, and recognised that I could do it. Because I wouldn't have stuck my neck out at the thought of not being able to do it. Say, for instance, I hadn't done all those telephone readings before, or I hadn't done Radio Merseyside with the lads, and I was asked to do that. Maybe I would have had second thoughts, but because I'd done that, I felt confident enough to do it.
Well, the next time I came across you was when you were on Most Haunted.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware that you'd done a lot of things in between, and not just here, but over in America and all around the world. So the call came to do Most Haunted. It was called. What was it called? Haunting Truths.
Yes, and it was
initially.
It was changed. The production company wanted it as Haunted Truths, but Living TV, especially the controller Richard Wolfe, who was a great man, he sat me down, and he said, "We could come up with a better name." So Yvette, who was the production company, called, said, "What is it?" And Most Haunted. They both said, "Most Haunted." I think one of them said that that's naff, and he said, "No, we believe." The way we do things, so they agreed to it. So it became Most Haunted,
and that was very successful. I think you were with it for 5 years.
Yeah, just over 5 years. Yeah,
and did you enjoy it?
I did. I did in so much as when I first started working with the vet, it was quite novel. It was we batted off each other very well, and you know, we enjoyed thoroughly working with each other. Something happened in the 5th series that, you know, when a series was so successful as that, it became a cult programme across the world, or to all the territories. It was so, when a programme goes like that, if you look at the history of programming, look at the Star Trek series and this series and Cheers, they all go the same way. The production always wants to move it on. And not become more technical, but move it on and see where it goes. And around that time, there was a lot of bitty things that were going on, and I started to not love the programme as much as I had. And so much so, I went to, I had an appointment with Richard Wolfe. I travelled to London because I told him of certain things that, you know, that I'd like to do. And he said, "Come to London and we'll have a chat over after lunch." And I told him my ideas. I said, to be honest, I think I've done enough of haunted locations all over the world, and I personally would like to move on, purely and simply because whilst I've been doing Most Haunted, wherever we've gone across the country, abroad, Holland, America, wherever we've gone, people have been coming up to me and saying, "We're having problems in our homes. We're having problems in our workplace. We're having problems in this place, this hotel." And I thought, "Please, can you come out?" And I thought, I'll suggest this to Yvette and Carl, which I did talk to them. Not interested, it was Most Haunted. So when I finished talking with Richard, and he said, "And this is the way you feel it, okay, will you do Living TV a favour?" And I said, "What's that?" He said, "You are well loved on this programme. You really are, Derek." He said, "You know, without the mediumship side, it wouldn't really be a programme." He said to me, "You're Mr. Most Haunted." Whether that was to try to change my mind, I don't know, but whatever it was. And I was adamant, and I said, "Well, what would you like me to do?" He said, "I'd like you to complete." So this was only after 4.5 series that I'd gone to it. I had to complete the 5th series, go on to the 6th series, and do 3 more Most Haunted lives, which took just short of another year. So I agreed to it. He said, "If you do that, I will develop you a new programme, and it will go on Living TV." And I said, "At the same time as Most Haunted?" He said, "It'll run parallel with it." I said, "How will they feel?" "Doesn't matter. We're the governors. we think it'll work, it'll work."
So you had a number of different TV shows after that, didn't you? There was the Antiques Ghost Show.
Yes, which I loved.
So
yes.
you were talking about getting messages through the vibrations in the voice.
Yeah.
How does it work with
psychometrizing? What actually happens, again, many, many years ago, even my grand pointed this out to me, within the gifts are sensing from the vibrations of an object, vibrations from the past, meaning if a person owned an object, an artifact, something, their vibrations, because they were touching this thing personally every day, whether it be a watch or a ring or whatever, it would be with them all the time. And that's exactly what happens. Because we're made of energy, our energy goes through the surface of these things and stays there. It's residual. So I found that by holding things and closing my eyes, next minute I will get images, or I can get memories from the past. And when I did this was before the television show, so I'd already practiced this. Again, I wasn't really sticking my neck out because I tried it. So I did just do that, actually. And the producers were just absolutely thrilled, and they said, oh God, we can make a great programme out of this. So I had to wait a little while they got it all together, and some of the artefacts, oh my God, some of them from all over the place, they were from all over the world. And did I enjoy it? Wow. I thought that series would go 2 series, 3 series, 4, 5. The production company certainly thought, but it didn't. It only went to 1 series.
Why do you think that was?
Don't know. Television politics. It goes on a lot. You never ever get to know the real truth all the time. Not the, as they call us, the talent. The talent never gets to know the whole truth in television. It's only the producers, the directors, and of course the heads. Why did Ghost Towns only go for 2 series and 2 Ghost Towns lives? Purely simply because we got to know the honesty of it. That it must have felt nice to Yvette and Carl with Most Haunted, but in my 2nd series of Ghost Towns, we outstripped Most Haunted, who were on a Tuesday night and we were on a Thursday. We started outstripping them for figures. Now, that was an embarrassment to the heads, because Most Haunted was the flagship programme for Living TV. It was Most Haunted that brought Living TV from the bottom rung to #1. It was their baby. So, because they had so much heavily invested in it, they couldn't really be putting out another programme that was beating the socks of the flagship. And we got told this, both my wife and I, at the studios in London, by one of the ex-commissioning editors who commissioned the programmes. After he'd left Living TV and when he joined Sky, he came to see us and told us, I just thought you'd like to know this. And I said,